The first thing you notice is the silence, not the peaceful kind, the heavy, suffocating kind that presses against your ears until even your own breathing feels too loud. Snow falls in slow motion, thick flakes drifting through a gray sky, covering everything in a cold, indifferent blanket. The house sits alone at the edge of the wilderness, its windows dark, its presence almost forgotten by the world around it. Inside, the air feels wrong, still, like something interrupted. A chair slightly out of place, a glass left untouched, a hallway that seems longer than it should be. The kind of place where something happened but refuses to explain itself. And somewhere between the quiet walls and the endless forest beyond, a boy disappears. No noise, no struggle, no trace, just gone. By morning, the snow has erased everything, smoothing the ground into a perfect, undisturbed canvas. It's as if the night itself decided to keep a secret. And the most disturbing part? The house doesn't look like it's missing anything at all. They search anyway. Of course they do. People gather in layers of heavy coats, boots crunching through ice, their breath rising in visible clouds as they call a name that seems to vanish the moment it leaves their mouths. The forest stretches endlessly, swallowing sound, distorting distance, turning every shadow into something watchful. Dogs pull at their leashes, confused by scents that start strong and then dissolve into nothing. Helicopters circle above, blades chopping through the silence, but even from the sky, there's nothing to see, just miles of white, untouched land. The snow keeps falling, relentless, patient, covering every possibility, every mistake, every truth. Days blur together. The cold seeps into bones, into thoughts, into hope. And still, nothing. No footprints leading away, no sign of a fall, no evidence of wandering. It doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be possible. And yet, the deeper they search, the more a question begins to take shape. Not out loud, not yet, but quietly, like a thought no one wants to admit. What if he never left at all?
Time passes, but the silence doesn't. It changes shape, settling into conversations, into glances that linger a second too long. The house becomes something else now, not just a place, but a puzzle. Every object feels like a clue waiting to be understood. Every room holds a version of the truth that doesn't quite match the others. Words are repeated, stories are told again and again, but they don't land the same way twice. Something shifts, subtle at first, a hesitation, a detail that doesn't line up, and suddenly the wilderness no longer feels like the center of the mystery. It feels like a distraction, because the deeper you look, the more unsettling it becomes. The idea that the danger wasn't out there, hidden in the trees or buried under the snow, but inside, much closer than anyone wanted to believe. The kind of realization that creeps in slowly, wrapping itself around every unanswered question until it becomes impossible to ignore. Years go by, but the snow never really melts, not in the way that matters. Each winter brings it back, layer after layer, like the past refusing to stay buried. But time has a way of loosening things, of pulling at edges, of revealing what was carefully hidden. Small details resurface. Fragments that once seemed meaningless begin to connect, forming something darker, something far more deliberate than anyone imagined. And when the truth finally starts to take shape, it doesn't feel like closure. It feels like a rupture, because it forces you to look in a direction you've been avoiding all along. Not toward the forest, not toward the unknown, but toward something far more disturbing, the familiar, the trusted, the possibility that what happened wasn't an accident, wasn't the result of nature or chance, but something intentional, something human. And that's the part that lingers. Not the snow, not the search, not even the disappearance itself. It's the realization that the answers were never lost in the wilderness. They were waiting,
buried beneath layers of silence, in a place no one wanted to dig too deeply. The kind of truth that doesn't just solve a mystery, but changes it. Because once you see it, you can't unsee it. The quiet becomes heavier, the house feels different, and the snow no longer looks peaceful. It looks like something that was trying to hide a story, one that refused to stay hidden forever. If stories like this pull you in and leave you questioning everything, make sure to like, subscribe, and follow, because some mysteries don't just haunt the past, they follow you.